everybody, John12 back here again with another video, and I'm here with another review for Dragon Ball Super. Yes, I'm here to give you my official review for Dragon Ball Super episode 36. Now, of course, if you haven't seen this episode, please go check it out because this review may contain spoilers. And of course, a happy Easter to everyone out there who gives a shit about Easter, unlike me. But with that being said, let's get into Dragon Ball Super. Now, of course, Dragon Ball Super, up until this point, tournament-wise and fighting-wise, has been very lackluster. I mean, Goku versus Botamo was pretty much like the manga. It was just irrelevant. Then Goku versus Frost, which was a major surpriser. Piccolo versus Frost, which was kind of just wacky and weird. And then Frost came out as a cheating bastard, so who cares about him anymore? And now we got Vegeta, the robot guy, versus Vegeta. And at the end of the day, I've said this once before, or at least a good dozen of times. I'm going to say it again. Vegeta-centric episodes in Dragon Ball Super are the best episodes of Dragon Ball Super. I don't know whose idea it was. I doubt it was Akira Toriyama's, but I don't know why. But Vegeta's moments in this episode alone in Dragon Ball Super are the best in Dragon Ball Super. I mean, like, granted, I personally would like more Goku-centric episodes because Goku's obviously my favorite character, or even other characters who don't get the limelight. It would be interesting to see adventures or fights or storylines that follow them for a while. But at the end of the day, Vegeta is the centric into this episode. He's the main focal point. He is the thing that we follow throughout this episode, so it is what it is. It's awesome and it's cool. I wish they could do some things that are different and make other episodes that are dedicated to other characters better, like they do with Vegeta, but it is what it is. Vegeta episodes are the best in Dragon Ball Super, and this one goes along with that because it was an awesome episode. I don't know what the hell Toei Animation had to do, but whatever break they had in between episodes definitely paid off in this episode because we, as fans, can sit down and bullshit our way and shit talk the living crap out of Toei Animation for their terrible, disgraceful attempts at animating fight sequences or just overall episodes in Dragon Ball Super. Because animation-wise and artwork-wise, this show sucks. It does. And there's no denial on that. This episode, however, kills it animation artwork-wise. I was completely happy with the way they animated certain attacks. This fight sequence was probably alone the best fight sequence this entire saga. And of course, animation-wise, it was amazing. I loved every little bit that they put into this. It was a great freaking episode, animation artwork-wise. Fighting-wise, it was also the best fight we've gotten this entire tournament. Granted, that's definitely going to change now we get closer to the fights with the little Saiyan kid Kabe or Cabby or whatever the cabbage vegetable name he has, and Hit, who is the boss. I'm just saying, if you saw him catch that glass and fuck up Frost, you know, this guy you don't fuck with. He is the shit, and I will pray to his feet. But with that being, he's basically Apocalypse. He's Oscar Isaacs. That's pretty much the best thing I can say. Overall, Vegeta versus Vegeta is the best fight. It is freaking awesome. Vegeta kicks freaking ass. I never thought the robot guy, out of all these Universe 6 contestants, would be ever interesting, especially the robot guy. But ironically enough, the robot guy is the most interesting and most powerful out of the three characters we've already seen fight. I mean, like, come on. He's just completely trolling Vegeta, and there's instances where Vegeta practically loses, but for some cheesy way actually continues to fight because, you know, it's Dragon Ball and it's a tournament. And, you know, we need to see our characters win because it's fucking Dragon Ball. We know we're going to win at some point in some kind of form or fashion. It's just inevitable. But with that being said, the fight itself was great. Vegeta was kicking ass. It was really cool to see him use his tactics against Vegeta. It was also really great to see Vegeta do some great throwbacks to previous techniques that we don't really see him use a lot, like Galagun and Final Flash, which were amazing. And at the end of the day, the fight itself, it was pretty much just straightforward. There wasn't any real side missions. There wasn't any side talk that much. I mean, granted, there was some stuff between Goku and Beerus and Whis and Champa being a little bitch because Champa's a bitch. And then, of course, you have Bulma and Trunks cheering on, you know, Vegeta. It was a nice moment. It was just great moments that played into the episode. It gelled very perfectly in comparison to other episodes where it feels like a nuisance. This episode was great. It was phenomenal, it was fun, it was entertaining, and it sets up amazing fights in the future with Saiyan Kid Cabbage and fucking Hit, who is the boss of this fucking saga. With that being said and done, overall, I liked it. There was not really anything I can say that I hated about this episode. This was a solid episode. It was great. It wasn't overly extravagant, of course, because we're not at that point in the saga where we're getting the full epic final act moments, which I'm guessing will be for Kabe and Hit, and of course the end of the tournament where Champa pretty much has to give Beerus everything, and plus on the factor of Champa and Beerus is hilarious. I fucking love Beerus' reactions to everything that happens in this tournament. I mean, like, every single time something happens, you don't know if he's just gonna kill everybody or fucking kiss somebody. He's just hilarious. Whis and Bados just trolling each other. Hilarious. Well, not each other, but trolling other people is hilarious. Champa, he's just the biggest bitch. He is such a bitch, it's not even funny. I mean, every single time something happens, he's always bitching and trolling and crying. I don't know what's the point of him. I really don't. I felt like going into this saga, he was going to be a major threat and be a villain. But he's just there, and I don't know what to say about it. It's at the same time it's hilarious, but at the same time versus that, it's kind of sad. I would have liked to seen Champa be a threat instead of some little whiny bitch who just feels like he's getting cheated out of everything in comparison to Beerus. It's just weird, and it's funny, but it's just weird in my front. But overall, episode was great. Vegeta kicked ass. All the side characters were awesome and hilarious. Goku cheering on, Vegeta was cool too. Bulma and Trunks. Everything about this episode was freaking hilarious and great. And of course, if there was any kind of nitpicky thing I can state, has to be Vegeta or anybody on Universe 7 like saying anything to Vegeta, because according to Whis, Vegeta's race will never stop fighting. The only way to stop them from fighting is when you insult them, and that's what pretty much paralyzes them. And I felt kind of bad for Vegeta, because he kind of just starts sitting, he's crying, he's sad, he just feels bad about what Vegeta said at the end of the fight, which pretty much ended the fight. I felt bad for him. So I would have liked it if Vegeta or someone like Goku, because Goku is, the purest of, all these characters, would have went over and said, like, you lost, but you fought well. You're a good guy. I like you. You're cool. You're cool with me. You're okay. We could be homies. I mean, like, granted, after this saga, we're never going to fucking see you again, because fuck you. But you're okay. You're okay with us. I would have liked it if they did something like that. They didn't, because right after that fight, immediately we transition into Saiyan vs. Saiyan, which will be epic and hopefully amazing, animation artwork-wise. And of course, they have their eyes, specifically Vegeta and Goku, they have their eyes on Heat. Because he is the boss! I'm telling you. Well, that being said and done, final verdict for this episode has to be a solid... Originally, I was going to give it an 8, but the more I talk about it, I might actually just give it a solid 9. It was a good, fucking awesome episode. I loved it. It was fun, entertaining, hilarious, and beautiful to look at. I liked this episode. But let me know what you personally think in the comment section below. I give it a final verdict of a 9 out of 10. Let me know what you think, of course. And of course, what do you think about Vegeta versus Vegeta, Vegeta versus Kabe, Hit being a major factor in the future, and overall your expectations for the end of this said tournament, and who will win said treasure and Dragon Ball, Super Dragon Balls rather. But with that being said and done, happy Easter to everybody, depending on what time I upload this, but as I'm recording it, it is Easter. And of course, be on the lookout on Monday, where I will have my official spoilerific movie review of Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. Get to hear me possibly praise or bash the living crap out of that movie on Monday. But with that being said and done, hope you guys enjoyed. Shameless plug time. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jonch12. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And hope you guys enjoyed. And this has been Jonch12.